Rosie is a pensioner and the voice of another 1.5 million people who are concerned about the effects of the turmoil in the pensions markets on them and the income they rely on. There is a lot of fear that people don't actually know about. What the future holds, I believe, was something that really worried me when I heard that pension scheme trustees were being asked to keep an eye on their investments' resilience, which is a serious concern. Many people seem to believe that the decline in market confidence in the United Kingdom has affected defined benefit pension schemes, which provide pensioners with a fixed annual income and place all of the risk on the pension provider. In contrast to the more typical defined contribution pensions, whose payouts are determined by the performance of investments, 18 million people participate in defined benefit pension plans, the majority of which are in the process of being wound down. However, these plans still hold approximately £1 trillion worth of UK debt, which is debt held by the government and should provide safe long-term returns. However, pension plans were exposed. The issue is that many funds have been using financial instruments like borrowing against their gilts to buy more gilts in order to guarantee their payouts to pensioners when the price collapsed. However, when the price collapsed, they needed collateral, which is cash, to offer their banks, so they had to sell gilts quickly, further driving down the price until the Bank of England stepped in for 2 weeks. The bank has been buying gilts to raise prices and give funds time to balance their books. It says it will stop on Friday, which the industry fears. We believe the bank should keep its gilt buying facility open for a few more weeks. Today, even though gilt yields are rising, there is a lack of confidence. As a result, I believe there is a risk of problems, and I imagine the bank would need to intervene in some other way. So, what I'm showing you here is that individual pensioners should be protected for the time being. This is a question of liquidity and cash flow for pension funds, not their underlying value. The advice is clear: stay where you are. If there is any commentary about your scheme possibly being in deficit and unable to pay the pension, we would say that seeking professional qualified advice is the most important thing you can do. Pension funds have 48 hours to restore order, and if they fail, the bank's credibility may also be at